Couples who don't appreciate their mate's unique personality will have a harder time with marriage. Which of these statements do you think is true? Opposites attract, or birds of a feather flock together? I have a theory about that. Working with all ages throughout the years, I've noticed that younger couples tend to pick someone with an opposite personality type. Older couples, however, tend to be drawn to someone who is more like themselves. At least that's what I've noticed, both in my clinical practice as well as in my social interactions. What about you? What have you noticed? Is your partner more like you or your opposite personality-wise? I've often used a questionnaire to give couples a snapshot of their relationship when we begin working together. Among the characteristics measured are personality traits, which are those aspects of a person's personality that remain relatively stable over time. For example, an extrovert is not likely to turn into someone who prefers being alone all the time. And someone who favors stability and avoids change probably won't suddenly decide they want to just go with the flow. So if these traits are stable, we need to find ways to appreciate and maximize the benefit of each trait. Trying to change another person does not work. It'll just make them angry and more determined that theirs is the correct way of being. Fourth and finally, we need to deepen our expectations. Your family, friends, pastor, and premarital counselor will tell you that your marriage is not going to be romantic. That romance is going to disappear. That's a given. You might as well accept it. So we start to expect that. Then something goes a little sideways and we automatically think, the honeymoon's over. We set up expectations that are so incredibly low. It's no wonder we fail. We're going to work towards what we believe is possible. And if we've been told it's impossible from the beginning, either from watching our parents or from people who are trying to give us advice, it won't work. The answer to that is to realize that marriage is actually meant to grow and deepen over time. I mean, think about it. You marry your best friend. He's sexy and cute. He's funny and brilliant. Why not focus on enjoying all those good things about him? Then, when you look at what it is about him that you don't get, you want to understand that part of him better. Now you're on a lifelong journey, a treasure hunt to find the good of this guy. Yes, I've met guys that have been wounded, that have put up such strong defenses that they're actually mean and cruel. But honestly, most of the guys, I'd say anywhere from 75 to 95% of men, are really good guys. But men don't understand any more about women than women understand about men. Men have been told that there's no way you can understand a woman. Women are beyond a man's ability to comprehend, so they just shake their heads and give up. But as women, you know that's not true. We're really simple and straightforward. We just use a different language than the guy does. When I was teaching at Azusa Pacific University, I would tell my undergrad students, don't marry someone that you like where they are now, the person who seems to fit you perfectly. Instead, marry someone that you want to spend the rest of your life getting to know, because it's going to take that long. It's a great adventure, and there's so much good inside a spouse. It's your job to find that treasure. At one point, I was asked to assist a student with her research. She wanted to expose Hollywood's unrealistic high expectations for romance. I disagreed with her premise. She held to her bias and moved on. I believe that romantic movies illustrate our dream of loving and being loved. But most importantly, those expectations we have are far from being too high. Our expectations for marriage are too shallow. I wholeheartedly agree with this statement by Pastor Jimmy Evans. God didn't create marriage to frustrate us, test us, or to make us feel unworthy or inadequate. He created marriage to be the most fulfilling and sacred of all human covenants. It was designed to be passionate and rewarding, and to meet our deepest needs and desires, and it was meant to last a lifetime. I couldn't have said that better myself, Pastor Jimmy.